Hello everyone, this is Gabatron Gaming back with part 6 of How Make Your Clicker game. In this video, we are going to be upgrading our number system again, so we have critical numbers. If you don't know what that means, let me explain a little bit. If you've played a video game before, like a fighting video game, you probably know what critical hits are. It's basically like when you attack, you have a chance of doing like 2 times damage or like some amount of more damage than you usually would, and it's called a critical hit. So basically in this video, we're going to be doing the same thing but with our numbers. So sometimes when you click the actual coin, you have a chance of getting more money. In this case, 2 times more money. But it's going to be a somewhat low chance. So let's get started. So in the coin, we are going to add one little piece of code. It's going to be pretty simple for the coin sprite. All we have to do is make a new variable. And I'm going to call it crit. Or actually, let me name it something else. Let me name it like critical chance. Okay, so now we have a variable called critical chance, and we're gonna drag a set critical chance, and we're gonna change this to a random number. And how we're gonna do that is in operations, we are going to grab pick random, and it's gonna be pick random 1 to 100. So basically what this is gonna do is when we click the coin, it's gonna set this critical chance variable to a number between 1 and 100, and we're gonna use that to basically get like a percent chance of getting a critical hit. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to the numbers, and we're gonna improve on this code a little bit. So what we're going to do is we are going to take off this code from what we already have, and but don't delete it. Make sure you still have that code. And we are going to grab an if then. What if then does is going to see if something is true, and if it is, it will do something, and if it's not, it will do something else. And that's going to be very helpful in what we're about to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually duplicate this code. You can do that by right clicking, or if you don't have a mouse, you can also like double click it. And we are going to drag one into the bottom else. So basically if this thing is not true, it's just going to do what it normally would, just like before. And what the said thing is it's going to have the chance of it being a critical hit. So we're going to grab an operation, which is going to be this one right here with this less than symbol. And we are going to grab the critical chance, and we're going to put that on a second bubble. So this is basically going to be, what this is going to be is, I'll put a number in here like 98. So what this is going to do is, if 98 is less than critical chance, then basically do whatever is in this slot right here. And if critical chance is not more than this number, then do the basic thing that we had doing before. So what that means basically in simple terms is you have a 2% chance for the thing in this box happening, which is going to be our critical hit. So how we're going to actually do that, how we're actually going to make the critical hit, is we are going to put this code in there, but not yet. We have to add one quick little bubble here, which is going to be set number 2, and is going to be multiplication. We're going to actually have the operation in there, and we're going to change this to 2 times MPC. So we'll put an MPC, and we'll put a 2 there. So what this is going to do is basically, it's if we get that 2% critical chance, then we're going to get double the money. That's what this little code does. And this doesn't actually give us the money yet. We're going to do that later. But this basically changes the numbers, so it shows that we got that 2 times money. So we'll put that in the top one. And that's all we're doing for the numbers. Now for the plus, what we are going to do is pretty much the same thing. So we are going to go and grab an if else again, if then else, like this. And we are going to put the when I store as a clone on top of it. And we're going to grab the same thing, which is going to be the less than. We're going to put 98 in the first bubble. And we're going to put critical chance in the second bubble. And we'll put that right there. And then we are going to duplicate this again, put it in the else, and then on the top, what we are going to do is we are actually going to have this so it adds the money. So we're gonna have change money by NPC. So basically this basically just adds us NPC again. So when we click it, we get, in this case, 120 NPC. And this is going to do that again. So we get a total of 246 NPC. So it'll be doubled. And we are going to switch this costume so it has the red costume to show that it's a critical hit. And I actually forgot to do that inside the numbers. So let's go back real quick and do that on those. So we're going to drag out this little thing we have for costumes, the little no count of number, and we're going to modify this a little bit. We're going to go into operations and grab a join, and what this is going to do is, what join does is join apple banana. So it is going to make apple banana which sounds pretty funny, but basically it's just going to join whatever you have in the bubbles. So we're going to put the costume that we had, the Air Force one, and we're going to join a C with it. And the reason that we have this as a C is because inside costumes, I have named the red ones C and then the number. And what that does is, by joining these two together, now we get C, like 3 for example, which is that last number. So it's basically just joining that C. So instead of having on the regular numbers, it changes to that critical number. And now at this point, the code should pretty much be done. If we start the game and we click it, as you see, we're getting 1 coin or 1 money per click. And obviously we're not getting a critical because we only have like a 2% chance, which isn't actually that high. And we can actually change this a little bit. Say we want the luck to be a bit different, then we can have this number be smaller. For example, if I put a 10, then we have a 90% chance of getting a critical hit. So I do that both of them, and now when we click it, as you see, it says +1, +2, +2, +2. It's in red, and that's because we have a very high chance of getting the critical hit. And as you see, the code is in fact working, and it works quite well. So I'm going to change this back. I only changed it so we could actually see that the critical is working. But now that we know, I'm just going to change it back. And I'm going to hide the critical chance. So that's going to be all for today's video. I hope you liked it. This is the end of part 6. In the next video, I'm going to be making something else. I haven't really decided yet, but it is going to be something that is going to make the game a lot funner, just like the past videos. Gabatron Gaming out. Peace to everyone.